Hi, it's Mark here with a few New Year poems by way of a shameless plug for my latest homegrown pamphlet. Ta-da! Never mind the content, feel the paper quality. Yours for a fiver, including postage, all profit going to the National Children's Literacy Charity. Just message me. So, despite its title, No End in Sight, the end, or at least the beginning of the end, is in sight. Not even Bojo can stuff up rolling out the vaccines, can he? Well, we live in hope. I want to take you first of all back 12 months ago. So this 12 months ago was my post-election daydream, just coming up to the new year, as it was then, of 2020. And it's called Twitten. Twitten, interesting local Sussex word for an alleyway, but has its common European origins, in a German word, Tweeter. So this is Twitten. It's about an alleyway. It goes like this. Scarcely more than shoulder breadth, you cannot see the opening from this year's end. Two sides obstruct the solstice light, no shadows dance, or, in its gloomy closing, slink like alley cat round beer cans. Walls so tall they seem to lean in. Ivy overspills their coping, reaches fingers down. I approach our lengthening days between brick piers, but find each minute newly lit is, by shallow angles, blinded. There's more time now, though less to say. Listening for tongues, we hear only 3-word echoes. How far this passage goes rests on choice of measure. Careless whether yards or meters, lichen clings in fractured mortar. So, there we have Twitten. Now, it was a good year for me in terms of writing a few more things than I might normally do as a sparsely productive artisan. And of course, everybody has or most poets, I guess, will have had their own lockdown poem. Many of us, quite a few. This, I guess, was the one that I felt meant most to me, my reflection on lockdown, and it's called Outside Within. In sanctuary of an unlatched porch, I've laid my cycle down. The door is thick, strong oak. Long hinges brace nail-studded beams, an iron ring for handle. I test the turn of it, but bolted against contagion, there's no communion to be had. The dancing pools of stained glass light, unreachable within. Back home, yet looking out, we step around ourselves, measure the degrees of separation, 2-meter arms outstretched. Blessed are those with wings. A far wandering brimstone settles, briefly matches the budding leaves. First of the year, it knows the secret of distance, that it's how we become grown up. I do sometimes, and I guess called myself an artisan poet, why do I bother? And this may be something other writers go, why do I bother? You know, it's all been said and said better before. And so this next poem was written after passing through the National Poetry Library in the Royal Festival Hall, and it's called Wall to Wall. It doesn't happen often, this killing time. I'm looking at a wall of words as tall to me as those that cleave the West Bank or Belfast. Shelf upon stacked shelf, this cache of tender conscience and Armalite gathering dust. Yet spines are all unequal heights, leave ground unoccupied. So tread the empty moors and build a wall outdoors. Make local choices, whether limestone for its grain or granite to endure. Pack flat your rough-hewn slabs, laying their battered faces into a slant. Place coping stones to crown the rise. Wind can whistle through its heart. Find line of least resistance. And then, last of all, for this little promo video, a slightly older poem, I guess. It's called Virtue Signal, and it's nothing to do with the really vital and real need for us to protest about the circumstances we're in. Rather, it's about how we can behave to each other in these dark and strange times. So, Virtue Signal. It is one grand gesture, this full arm stretch, hoisted overhead, then let fall sidelong. Not royal hand in limp rotation, rather from the fulcrum of our elbows a sweep of unversed semaphore, bridging seen but not heard distance. I'm on deck at the starboard rails, or port side if leaving not arriving. You're leant on a seaward wall looking out, or some other face-to-face perhaps. Beached below, one of us unfurls a rug, settles down with friends on shingle. What remains these days is dumb show, doubtful. Mostly we go nameless, under the radar hide our light, each to their own. But waving at total strangers, an ageless urge hard to resist in narrow straits, is least that we can do. That's all for now. Thank you if you bothered to listen. Take good care of yourselves in 2021, and I look forward, when live poetry can happen again, to meeting some of you out there. Bye.